Hello, welcome to Wanderer Financial. Today I'm going to talk about trend lines. Trend lines are basically support and resistance lines, but they're not horizontal. They're going to be at an angle, trending up, trending down. An uptrend is going to connect at least two lows. A downtrend is going to connect at least two highs. And basically the more points along that line that connect, the stronger you can expect it to be in the future. Until, of course, the trend breaks, which they all do eventually. So let's take a look at how to draw a few on your charts, how to spot them, and just get an idea of how they work. So with gold chart, first one here, I'm going to click on the ray. Again, click the bottom there, the low. And generally what you want to do is you'll connect the first two lows. This is where your trend would begin. After this point, the stock bounced again, came back down, tested that level, held pretty well. Bounced again, it held pretty well again. Now you've got a pretty decent little trend line going here. You've got four tests of that trend line. Then gold rallied strongly for a while, came back down. Here, kind of slipped through. Okay, at this level you can see it started to hold. There was some back and forth there. Then it kind of broke through. At this point, maybe you'd consider this trend line broken. There's no exact science to trend lines, so it's kind of up to you. You move them around, you see what works for you, what levels maybe work with what you think the trade is going to do. Anyway, so this time maybe you want to move it out a little bit. You pick, you take this low instead. Came down a couple times pretty close, then tick down there, connect these two lows. Now, boom, you got that pretty good one there. You zoom out, then you can kind of see. Next time gold starts dropping down in this level, you might expect, okay, you'd start watching for a bottom around here, right? So that's a gold, that's an uptrend in gold. Let's take a look at, the Dow. So, well, let's see. Nothing's obvious here to look at. Let's look at AMD. Okay, let me clean my chart up just a hair here. AMD, so here's an uptrend for you. Had a bottom, double bottom, and then it started to rally out of the lows there. Again, you would have connected, maybe not this second low. That's a little early. I'd like to see a little more space between your lows. You might have drawn a trend line at this point as it rallied off of this low. As it came back down, yeah, you're thinking, okay, maybe this is going to be the low. Didn't turn out to hold. Okay, so then again, maybe you move it out at this point. Later on, you can see it tested that level again, bounced. Now it's coming back down here. You might expect, this is a level you'd be watching as it continues. Might move sideways, run into the trend line, and bounce off again. Those are kind of things you look for. Again, like I said, there's no exact science. You start with the first two lows. If it doesn't hold, now that trend line's broken. Maybe you decide the trend's not completely broken because it rallies out. You move it along. You find different levels. Let's see, how about Tesla? Tesla's been in an obvious downtrend since, well, December 2018. Rallied up there, and it's just been down ever since. You see this a lot in the trends. You drop, rally, drop, rally. These are lower lows and lower highs. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. It just goes on and on. So let's draw a line in here. So now we're drawing a downtrend. So again, these two lines are too close. These 2 points are too close to each other. You want to see a little more time in between candles to draw a trend. So let's choose something down here, and you can see this one's really held up well. A downtrend began, popped up, topped out again, rallied up, right to it again and again, and now we're approaching it again. Got a little close today. Anyways, you would expect that to continue until it doesn't. If it rallied out to here, you would pretty much consider this downtrend broken at that point. You wouldn't go along all of a sudden and connect these 2 points if it was up here and say, well, this is a downtrend. That just missed too many points. But here you can see it was pretty clear. You connected a lot of points. That's a strong downtrend. How about Ford? So here's one. You can see sometimes these go on for a long time. Ford topped out here in 2014. This isn't a perfect downtrend, of course, but you can see, you can get a general feel for where things might, kind of see some support and resistance on the downtrend. So here we topped out, bounced up to here. Now you've got yourself a little downtrend, bounced up, we drew it into here. I moved it eventually. And they get broken a little bit every once in a while, but when it doesn't fall through, it drops right back down. And you can see it's tested again, and tested again, tested again. And here, this time it's finally really busted. Bounces through, comes down. And now the trend line's broken. Sometimes you can leave them in there. Sometimes you'll see this sort of thing where it tested from the top side now. I don't like to rely on that very much, but there's a downtrend. DXY. Let's look at the dollar. Dollar recently. Let me zoom in. So this one, usually what you like to do is you like to pick a bottom, a more obvious bottom. Normally I would have chosen to pick from here. This would be your trend line. But then there was such a big gap here that it didn't really work. But you can see here we bottomed, and then since what do we get? September of 18, we've been in a pretty steady uptrend. I like to draw that in there. This is the kind you wouldn't see this right away. This would develop over time. Maybe about here is when you first realize, maybe we're gonna test this level again. It got down there, bounced again. By now I would be not relying, but I would be watching that level real closely as we approached it. So by this time, you would have been pretty confident in looking for a bottom right at this level. Let's look at the S&P. S&P. I'm zooming out to a weekly here. You can look at uptrends and downtrends in all sorts of different time periods. I tend to look at dailies. But when a trend's been going on forever, your daily chart's not really going to fit it. So move it out to a weekly. So here you can see the S&P has just been in a very long uptrend ever since 2009. 10-year bull market. Very consistent trend line. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Again, if we, excuse me, this is really dragging now. I don't know. Computer slowed down here on me. Anyways, if it pops down here again, you're going to be watching and expect some bottoming action on this trend line, on this uptrend. Anyways, that's about it. That's the basics of drawing in trend lines. You're going to connect your first two highs or first two lows, and basically adjust from there as time goes by. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.